This is not the first time we've seen a celebrity or a person of influence have infidelity occurred in their marriage relationship. But I think it's important to distinguish the fact that when a man cheats compared to a woman, it's two completely different situations. The biggest example of how when a woman cheats, it's the complete detriment of a man. And then he loses status, he loses respect, and he's looked as a cuck, and he's looked as a man that can't lead the relationship into the right way. And he is a man that is looked upon as someone she does not respect whatsoever. The biggest example would be Will Smith. Will Smith got his wife, Jada, who, as we all know, the whole entanglement situation, and Will Smith, that carry over. People lost respect for him. He held it in for a long time, and it led to the slap that was heard around the world. And forever, no one thinks of I Am Legend, Bad Boys, or even great performances like The Pursuit of Happiness anymore. They all think of the entanglement and the slap. And the slap is a connection to his wife because he truly loves her, but she does not love him the same way, and she does not respect him. Otherwise, she would not have even mentioned the whole entanglement situation and got in with her friend's best friend, her son's best friend, I should say. And another example would be Akash Singh, who on the channel we've talked about, and his wife being an embarrassment to him. Whether she cheated on him or not is irrelevant, but the fact is true that she did lie about being a virgin and spoke about having orgies and threesomes and being a degenerate on her podcast, and just completely making him lose any type of aura and respect and status that he had previously as a comedian. Now, those are two examples of how women cheat and how it affects the man. But let's look at a couple examples of when men cheat. Kobe Bryant, who is arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time, rest in peace, cheated on his wife Vanessa back in early 2001, 2002. Did it affect him? Not at all. And in fact, it didn't affect his wife whatsoever. And the fact that she stayed showed how much respect and admiration she had, because she was a woman that understood that, yes, men are going to cheat, especially if there's someone of status and is in the NBA. NBA players, athletes, we all know. If you actually think that you're going to find a person in the NBA or the NFL or the MLB or any of these big time sports entertainment positions, if you think that they're going to stay loyal to only you, you are delusional. And Kobe's wife stayed, and he stayed with her all these years. And she didn't lose any respect from that. No, she didn't lose any status. And the fact that even though Kobe, rest in peace, passed away, she is still admired and respected to this day. No one looks at her any differently. She's loyal. She's a mother first. Even in the public, she never talks about him in public, ever. And obviously the funeral and things of that nature, but she's never spoken about Kobe publicly like that. Like Ayesha Curry has with Steph Curry. She has no respect for him. And you could tell that that's a sign of a divorce that is in fruition anyway. Now, this is the biggest example of how a man cheating does not affect a woman. And I want to compare this to the Kristy Scott, Kristy Sarah situation. Jay-Z cheated on Beyoncé. And I believe she admitted it in a song. And she did not leave him. She could have left him, yes. But where is she going to go after? Jay-Z is in the echelons of billionaires that exist in the world. She's not going to downgrade. And she knows, as a person of his status, he worked hard to reach that level of money. And it's harder for men because women kind of live life on easy mode. They just got to exist and be beautiful, and then people are going to give them attention, exposure, status, everything. But men, and especially Jay-Z is not the most good-looking man on the planet, had to work hard. He had to do certain things in order to get the connections, in order to reach that level of being one of the most influential rappers of his generation. Him cheating did not affect her status. If anything, it just showed how much their relationship, how strong it is. whether it's a happy one or not is not really important, because love is an action and love requires sacrifice in order to, even if it's goes against your own feelings. And if Beyonce actually would have divorced Jay-Z, I think that she would not be happy. She will probably find another person that is low tier. She would probably be making more money than that person, because again, Beyonce is also in the 1% of billionaires, and a small percentage of Black people who exist who are billionaires. She has that couple status, and her status is elevated, and they're known as the, like Barack Obama and Michelle, goals couple that most African Americans strive to be like and set that example. And her not leaving him shows that she understands it. She understands what it is, but it's not a detriment to their relationship, because I think most women have this idea and this understanding that status and money and the man being the leader and the provider is way more important than his loyalty. A man's loyalty isn't really going to do much for a woman at the end of the day. Yes, I get it. The whole STD thing, I get it. But most women, that's why most women aren't with nice men, because nice men are the only ones that are kind of loyal somewhat to a certain extent. But what is true loyalty, though? Let me ask you this. Is loyalty a person that is only with one person, loyal to only them because they can't get anyone else? Or a person that has money, status, resources, that has a variety of options, but chooses to be with you regardless, and only you? I ask you, which one is the true loyalty? And in regard to the Jay-Z situation, something I want to address is that a lot of men and women have this conversation where women are the prize or men feel like they're the prize. And I'm going to say this, I won't answer, but I want you guys to kind of get a perspective. Are there more attractive men or attractive women in the world? I think it would be fair to say there's more attractive women. Now, are there more successful men or successful women? Or a better version is, are there more successful men or average men? I think we can all agree there are more average men. If something is a prize, it means that someone had to work hard to be in that position, and that they are a rare source in the world. They are something unique that you don't just come across it every day. I know in cities like New York and Miami, people meet millionaires and people of status all the time. But let's be honest, a lot of it is fake clout, and they aren't actually rich like that. They put on a mask, they put on a facade. But they forget, just because that person has status and has all that money does not guarantee that they will be loyal to you. Or only you, for that matter. Most of the time, those men that work hard to become a millionaire or even a billionaire is going to have and want, desire, multiple women. And because there are a variety of options out there, if Jay-Z and Beyonce divorced, Jay-Z knows he could find another baddie around the corner if he wanted to. He could legit find, there are a variety of options out there in the world. But Beyonce, unfortunately, it would be a huge challenge for her. And I'll give you the perfect example. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Also, another thing I need to add too, before I get to that. Men do not care about a woman's career. They do not care about that. Even someone like Kanye. Do you think he cared that Kim was a billionaire? Do you think he cared that she came from reality TV? Do you think that was anywhere on the level of relevancy to be in a relationship with someone like that? I think women need to understand that their money, their status, their cars, their houses is not something that's going to benefit a man. Men do not care about a woman's career, which is why it's going to sound surface level, but men the only thing that will open the door for a man to even talk to a woman if she's attractive. Personality, no. I don't talk to ugly women. I'm just being honest. I don't. And just like how women are not going to engage or entertain a man that doesn't have a certain status, money, resources, or has the best personality. Personality is like third, fourth important when it comes to how a woman gives attention to a man. What are the first thing women ask for when it comes to a man? What do you do? How much money do you make? Which a man will never answer or nor should he have to answer that question. Again, resources, if he has his own car, if he has his own place, does he have a savings? Things like that. But again, it's all about money, provisioning, because women seek security. Men don't need that because it is our jobs to provide the security. So with the case of Kim Kardashian, when she divorced Kanye, notice how she's been in like 5 relationships since her divorce with Kanye West. And she got with Pete Ugly Davidson a couple years ago, and that only lasted like a year. And why she wasted her time with someone like him is beyond me. No offense to Pete, but he's nowhere near. And she obviously made more money than him and didn't work out in the long run. Sure, you could call it a little love phase, but at the end of the day, someone like him is going to find it hard to downgrade after you've gone with someone like Kanye West, who's an architect. He's a music genius. He's a visionary. He's someone that advocates for free speech. He is a man who came from the suburbs of Chicago and became a billionaire and created, as a part of Yeezy with Adidas. It's hard to downgrade from something like that. And obviously you've seen how Kim Kardashian has struggled after the fact. But look at Kanye West. He has not suffered. He got remarried to Bianca Censori a year later or something. And he's just chilling because this is going to sound messed up, but women are a lot more easier to replace than men. But men will definitely entertain a woman. Kim Kardashian, I'm sure she got so many DMs after the divorce, so many options, but how many were actual potentials for her? Knowing that she has all this money, she got to get with someone rich, that if they want to be with her, they're going to have to accept her and her children. That's a lot to bring for a man, and most men aren't going to want that. They're not. And if anything, single men are more attractive than single mom, because a man who's a single dad, that tends to turn women on because it's like, oh my God, he's able to provide and be a man and take care of his family, whatnot. But a single mom is going to, for most guys, is going to be looking like a recreational use only. That's a fact. And this is the problem that I feel Kristy Scott is going to have in the future, because she's going to be in a position to potentially date people that are not on her level. I hope that she doesn't go through no hoe phase, just like how Ayesha Curry wants to do, because again, she's known him since she was 14 years old. I assume that maybe that's the only man she's been with her whole life, but regardless, it's going to be a challenge for her to be a single mom who's a millionaire with 2 kids. Most men are not going to accept that, and she will not accept most men that come her way. And she's going to be in a position where she's going to be coping. All her female friends are going to be saying, oh, you don't need no man. Live your life, travel, make your money. But let's be completely transparent though. Money does not give women fulfillment. It makes them feel empty. And they're like constantly chasing a bag. It doesn't. What fulfills a woman is an emotional connection and a family. That's what fulfills most women. Mind you, she could be someone that appreciates the money, likes it, likes her lifestyle, whatever. But I think she's going to be in a situation just like Kim Kardashian, where she's going to find herself in a very difficult situation, especially how attractive she is. A lot of guys will give her attention, but most of those guys she will not be attracted to and not care. She'll entertain entertain a couple of them, maybe have some hookups in the process, but it's going to be extremely challenging for her. And I understand women are going to cope. They're going to say, a man will accept me for who I am. Or they're going to say, he wasn't the one that was meant for me. Are you sure about that, though? Because I guarantee Kim Kardashian to this day is probably like, dang, I should never have left Kanye, even though he was crazy and this and that. Maybe I should have been more submissive. Maybe I should have done this. Because she, with all that money and all that status, she's a lonely person. And even though I don't support what Desmond did and him cheating, he will find it easier for himself to find a different girl. He was going to think, oh my God, now this is embarrassing. This is going to give me a bad look and things of that nature. But men are not that picky. So it's going to be easier for a man to get another girl to be with him. Because men don't care about money like that. Men don't care about how much money she makes or a car she has or the job that she does and all that stuff or all the astrology. Men do not care about that. And if Beyonce isn't going to leave her husband, why do you think you should? Not to say that you can't. I'm not saying you shouldn't have to. That's within your right, Kristy, to divorce him because of that. And I mentioned it in the other video about the Bible says that if your partner cheats, does any sexual immorality, then that is within your right to divorce them. But at what cost, though? At what cost? Because she's going to find it challenging to find a replacement. Maybe she'll stay single for the rest of her life, which I doubt it because women are not meant to be single. That's cope. I'm happy to be single. You know, when women say, I like to be by myself and this is that. No, you don't. And if that's the case, then you're a very masculine woman at that point. Women strive for emotional connectivity, emotional vulnerability as well. And if Beyonce would have divorced Jay-Z at that time, she will be, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So it's like, might as well be comfortable with the person that cheats that's going to make you the main girl. Because men, this is another thing I wanted to mention too. Men and women, if you think, I have a genuine question for you guys. Do you think men and women love each other the same way? Honestly? Because I noticed that there's a thing where women say, because I wouldn't do that, so why should he? But you're not a man. Men don't love the same way. Men love by provisioning, by making you his main girl, his priority. All the money that he gets only goes to you. Because if a man gives, I'm sorry, maybe this might sound controversial, but if a man is providing money to another girl that's not his wife or his main chick, that's way more detrimental and more of a betrayal than him having sex with another woman. And the reason I say that is because a man, like him having sex is like taking a leak. It's not anything special. Like if he cheats on his main girl, his wife, his woman, right, with another person, if that person got into a car accident and died, he will legit not care. But when women cheat, there's more of a buildup, and there's more emotions attached to it. That's why it's a bigger deal. But when men, they don't even hesitate. They probably won't even remember that girl's name that he cheated on her with. They won't care. They will not care at all. So men provide love differently. Women show their love by their femininity, by being loyal, by being submissive, by not being a headache, by being a man's peace. But men a real man is not going to be pouring his problems into his woman, because he understands if he talks about his day at work and all the stress he's under, she's gonna feel emotionally drained by that. So he's gonna okay, I'm not gonna talk about work, but I'm gonna hear you out. I'm going to talk to you about your problems. I want to hear about your day. I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of. If you need anything, food and money and, getting your nails done, all this stuff, right? Not just materialistic things, but there has to be some emotional connection there that men have to provide. And if I'm being honest, I think that the level of love is very different from it. It's hard for us to open ourselves up like that. So that's why I wanted to address this, because I feel like a lot of times people think that, oh my God, Kristy, screw him. He's a, like we don't know the full context of the situation of the relationship. Maybe this is something that's been going on for months and they've been having issues. We don't know. And we'll never know. It's none of our business anyway. Right. But I want Kristy to understand, just because he cheated does not mean he doesn't love you. That's all I'm trying to say. Because women think that, oh, he cheated, that means that he has no feelings for me whatsoever or whatever. That's not the case, because again, 70 to 80% of the divorces are initiated by women. So men don't usually leave. He might have been honest with you, you might have found out, whatever the case is, but he's with you for a reason. He allowed you to shine on social media and be the person that gets all the brand deals and all the endorsements and all the sponsorships and all of the you're the face of the brand at the end of the day. He allowed you to do all that stuff. And if I'm being honest, Desmond gives me the type of energy and vibe that he doesn't want to be on social media. He's just doing it because he wants to support his wife. Like if I'm being honest, he seems like more like he's following her lead. And if you know anything, you know that women don't lead. And if they do, they lead to the end of the relationship. So I just want Kristy to understand and accept that just because he cheated does not mean that he does not love you and that he's not going to be loyal to you again. Or I mean, he might not be loyal to you now, but the next man you meet, do you really think he's going to be loyal to you too?